the 7 of you watching, I don't know if you know, or if you can tell. Man, my face is all greased up. But I just scarfed down my dinner in about 5 minutes, which is why I'm like a little late. Sorry about that. I headed back from the venue to come home, and then the train had some issues. I don't know what it was, but we were delayed about 10-15 minutes. But I was really hungry, so I had some rice, some meat, some 깍두기. If anybody's Korean out there, or if you know what 깍두기 is, it's a radish kimchi. So
ジレット夕方までつるすべ肌続くジレットラボその融資銀行で
why does it do that? I don't know. All right. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. For me, it is a Saturday night. It is 11 p.m. and I hope everyone can hear me okay. Last week and even today, there's been some sort of issue and I'm getting commercials for some reason. I don't know why. But yeah, I'm tired. It's getting a lot hotter. It was like in the high 70s. Hey Richard, how's it going? Richard, I didn't talk to you. I messaged Tara. I told her about the tickets for you. So I hope she'll get back to me. She will. She always does. And you and your wife will have some tickets reserved, so it should be a good time. What's going on, Eric? How are you? Yeah, okay. Let me just breathe a little bit. I'm gonna drink a little bit of my Shopper's Price highball. You know, when I first came to Japan, I met this girl in Hiroshima, and she took me to a highball bar. I don't know if they only serve highball, but hey Haramatsu, how are you? But it was really cool. Really cool, old school vibe. I think I used the word old school a lot, but I like old school. Even the movie with Will Ferrell. So cheers to all of you. But I think for a lot of you it's the morning, so probably not cheers. One of the reasons why I'm a little bit darker in red, yeah, it's good stuff, especially some flavored ones. But I've been biking to work and back. Biking back isn't a problem because it's dark, but going there it's pretty bright and sunny, so I think I'm getting a pretty decent tan. Hi Dave, how are you? Hey, it's for horses. All right. For those of you who have been keeping track, but you probably don't care enough to actually keep track. But last week, I had the thumbnail saying week 3 Tokyo, or Tokyo week 3. And if you looked at today's thumbnail, it says Tokyo week 5. And I realized the reason why is I skipped a week because I didn't have any shows that weekend. So there was one weekend that I didn't go to a show, and so I forgot to skip it. So there was no week 3 live stream. It was week 4 last week. It's week 5. And having gotten that very important information out of the way, put to the side, let's go ahead and talk a little bit. Let's see. A couple of big things this week. For me, the biggest thing today is that I went to go see Nekomeshi 222 live for the first time, and I'm going to talk about that and review them, as well as just tonight. There were 5 bands total, but I also wanted to talk about Bestie. I think most of you, or all of you, know, those of you, can you see that little tail moving around? Suho, come here. Hold on a second, come here. Can you? Come here. Okay, he's, it's my dog Suho. Let me get you. Bestie doesn't want to come. Okay, forget it. You stay there. So there was a lot of, I think with any drastic move that Band-Maid makes, you're always gonna get ripples on both sides. With Bestie, I definitely rippled way towards the positive for a number of reasons. And personally, I love that song. So, why don't we talk about that? Let's do Bestie. Hey Bestie, how's my bestie doing? Hi SJ. um, so as I talk, I feel like pieces of meat stuck in my teeth. It's gross. And I shouldn't have told you that. But let's go ahead and talk about Bestie. So Bestie ended up dropping this past week on the 17th. And they dropped it and it was made available on YouTube. Just the audio and just, the cover of the single. And for me personally, from the get-go, I mean, right when I heard it, I was like, oh, okay. Don't. It just, I was like, this riff is not Konami at all. Sort of that lazy, like, bounce. I was like, nah, that's really not her. And I was like, that's gotta be Mike. And she confirmed it on Twitter later on. And she said herself, like, I wouldn't have made this riff. Not that she couldn't, but it's not like in her sort of library of audio that she's probably amassed over the years. But it's just a song that I really feel on a very gut level. I mean, I wrote, if you guys were following either on Band-Maid Fans Cafe or Twitter, X, or even on our channel, the community page, I wrote up like 3 different things because it was just, I just had so much to say about it. And is it like a phenomenal song? Is it like the best song they've ever written? No. Is it like wholly original and out of this world? No. But it's just so warm and cool and sweet and precious and groovy, and there's this quality of this song that sort of wraps up this sense of nostalgia for me in so many ways. I agree. I think for me personally, I connect with it more. Lots of feels, and I know there are people out there who are talking about it and saying how it's a step back. Oh, it's the first Band-Maid song that I don't like. That's fine. I mean, everyone's mileage varies for anything and everything, and I don't fault them at all for that. Just being honest. Hey, what's up, Stain? But for me, before Band-Maid, I actually, and I still do, I like stripped down instrumental arrangements. I don't like things to be overly complicated, overly produced. I don't like to have all these little things thrown in all at once. And to be honest, oh, hi Yushi-san. I hope you're enjoying yourself at Crescendo. But before Band-Maid, and even when I first heard Band-Maid, particularly Konami, I always thought, man, she's a busy girl. Like sonically, she's just really busy. And that actually took some getting used to for me, because I was coming from a place where, the Beatles are my, hey Russ, what's going on? I put your whiskey labels in my camera bag so I don't forget it. Just make sure that you remind, Rolling Behemoth? That's his handle, right? Remind him to tell me or ask me for it. And so it took me time, and it still does take time for me at times. And there are still moments where I do think, Konami, it's a little bit much for me. And that's my preference, that's my taste. There's a certain Spartan quality I like, um, but I still love Band-Maid. Like, despite the fact that that's not my preference, I still love what Band-Maid does as a whole. Um, and the other, comment about like this song being a step back, like it's a weird comment to me when I see that because I've seen it a couple times. It's like it's a song. I don't know. If it was an entire album, I would understand. Oh, this album is a step back for Bandmate from what they were doing. But especially because Bandmate is Bandmate, I don't feel like anything that they ever do is a step back. Maybe it's a step sideways, a step diagonally. It's any number of steps, but I don't think anything Bandmate ever does is a step back. They experiment, they explore, they attempt things, and I love that. I love the fact that they try things out. And for me, thankfully, I love what was produced out of Mike and Mikey-chan and Bandmate's collaboration. Um, yeah, it's totally cool with me. And for me, what I love, it's the same way for those of you who have listened to Klupo's EP. I love voice. And if you listen to voice, it's actually very simple and stripped down, instrumentally, arrangement wise, the way that it's produced. But there's so much emotion behind what Miku is singing that that was another song that I listened to multiple times. There were actually a few people who called me crazy because I was listening to Bestie on loop for 6, 7, I think 8 hours. I think, yeah, anywhere from 7 to 8 hours. I listened to Bestie not nonstop. I had to work, um, but when I was awake and I had time, I would just put on my earphones, put on Bestie, and just loop it over and over and over again. And for me, just what I love about the song, of course, lyrically, I think it's so sweet. Um, but just the vibe of the song, the mood of the song, the qualities of the song. Because I really got into music in the late '90s and early 2000s. I always loved music, but I got back into it and I took it seriously for the first time during that period. Oh, see, I'm not a start over person. I have no comparison between nothing against you, of course, but I like Bestie and Start Over are completely separate to me. I thought of Daydreaming. People mentioned Endless Story, I guess. Um, but for me, Start Over will never be something that I will hold in my heart. I can just drop it, never hear it again, and I will not shed a single tear. Having said that, hey, if people like it, they like it, and that's cool. Um, for me, I love the West Coast feel of Bestie. For me, when I hear it, when I feel it, it's very West Coast to me. It's very sunset, it's very cool breeze. Um, and I mentioned that it reminds me a lot of 1979 from Smashing Pumpkins. Um, they're just the way that it just kind of chugs along. Um, when you hear it's just Konami just holding that one note and just bending and vibrato just a little bit, adding a little bit of counter melody to certain sections, and it's that simplicity that I love. I know people love the complexity of Band-Maid, and like Giovanni is probably one of my favorite songs from Band-Maid, and it's probably the most prog song that they've ever written. And I think to this day I haven't heard it live, which saddens me because I've been to so many shows and I still don't get to hear it. But I love that song a lot. But I absolutely love that simple, nostalgic, really basic, just production of Bestie, and it feels so good, and especially with the way that Psyche is singing it. And another sort of honest confession, is that when I first heard it, I was like, ah, Psyche. Not quite. I could not catch the lyrics. The way that she sang it, and this is something that I have a problem with, which is weird because I lived in Korea for 7.5 years. I lived in Japan for over 6 years now, just over 6 years. But I really, really have a hard time understanding people when there's even a slight deviation in pronunciation. And I've kind of gone through the motion with people who they say something. I'm like, can you say it one more time? Can you say that one more time? And then after that, I just nod my head and go, mm. But I still don't know what they're saying. And with Psyche, I had to look at the lyrics and then go, okay, I see. And then it kind of like caught in my brain and I could catch most of it. So, did she do a good job? I think so. Is it perfect? No. Will it appeal to the masses? I have no idea. I don't know what the masses really feel about foreigners singing in English. People tend to be pretty critical of that. Uh, I'm open to it because, when you're listening to Japanese music and a lot of them are singing in English, you just kind of have this mindset of, oh, they're Japanese. And so there's a lot of forgiveness involved. And lyrically, I think lyrically. You sound like Commodus from Gladiator, Joaquin Phoenix. I am vexed. I'm very vexed. Yeah, absolutely. And that's the thing, right? Music is music. Like for me, there came a realization, I think when I was younger in my I definitely like Bestie more than Maggie. Um I actually like Bestie more than any of the new songs that I've heard from the performances. So whether it's Brightest Star, Magi, Go Easy, no, not Go Easy, yeah, Go Easy. Mm. Again, Bestie just connects with me on a very almost primal nostalgic level. Um, it captures it. I think that's the right word. Hey Kevin, it captures this moment in my life, in my heart, in my emotions, my relationships, in my pursuit of music, and it just feels good. It just feels really, really good to me. So yeah, and will it? Of course, there's also the argument: will it? Is it radio friendly enough? Will it help? Will the radio friendly qualities of the song help to supersede any weaknesses that it can be played on radio? I don't know. I really don't know because it's still rock. I mean, it's more laid back and it's more groovy, but I just don't know what's out there. What's going on, Ryan? And the things that I've heard coming out of the States, I just can't really get down with. I don't know if that's a bad thing. Um, but I did listen to Taylor Swift just dropped her new album. I listened to a couple of songs. I was like, okay, this is cool. There's some good stuff I like. And I do think she's a phenomenal lyricist. Even though the content is about like breaking up with boys all the time or whatever else, I think as a lyricist, as far as the way that she uses her words and how poetic she is, I think she's phenomenal. I think she is preternatural, kind of the way Eminem was in his genre of rap. Like there's a special quality about that. But anyways, so yeah, lyrically, it isn't it to my ears like the most poetic thing ever. But for me, the eloquence of the lyrics comes from how accurately Miku caught what she wanted to say about her friendships. And I do believe it's about the girls, and I think that's very sweet and precious. And because I understand the history behind that relationship, it's more special to me. And of course, it's different. Of course, other people won't feel the same way if they don't have that connection to Band-Maid, if they don't understand that relationship. Sorry, I'm just looking at something real quick. If they don't understand that relationship with Band-Maid amongst, you know, the members, and that's totally fine. So I don't know. I mean, it's funny when people are happy to jump on board because everyone else jumps on board of how much they love a song, and then it's weird to me when people jump on board for people who don't like a song. They're like, oh yeah, I don't like it too. Yeah. It's like the people who like celebrate having never watched an episode of Game of Thrones. I'm so proud of the fact I never watched one episode. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's weird to me. Just to, if you guys are like that, that's cool. You do you. But it's a bit weird to me. But I'm going to read because I had been playing Bestie on loop for such a long time, and I had different various thoughts throughout. I want to read just a few things for those of you who probably don't go to our community page, aren't on Band-Maid Fans Cafe, just don't like reading. So my initial thought after 30 minutes, after 30 minutes of playing the song, oh man, I saw episode 8. I have to watch 9, Crimson Sky, but shh. Yeah, you know, that's fine. That's totally fine, Ryan, right? I mean, people do come around, and I think when they see it live, like that's the thing. When you hear it, I can totally hear it and see Psyche just opening her arms and singing this song, and I'm like, oh my god, like, I can feel that. I can feel that so deeply. Like I get chills thinking about that song being played live and people singing along, and just man, there's gonna be a lot of love in that place. I have no idea about the reception in Japan. Alright, so this is what I wrote. Loving this song, playing on loop since 30 minutes ago. Just the way it drives with this alt-rock groove. Melody and chord progression is so moving and gorgeous to me. It's not anything new, but to Band-Maid, it's something they haven't quite done in this way. The opening picking riff was obviously Mike, and the arrangement is a sweet blend of BM, Band-Maid, and Mikey Chan style. And the chorus just breaks me. The drive, the groove, the sustaining guitar sections, Misa's fat-ass bass tone, Psyche just feeling it, Miku's sweet, sweet background vocals, Akane tomming the shit out of the song and hitting that pocket, and Konami lean, mean, and pristine. Get your lighters and tissues ready for this one. And don't worry, it's all still very Band-Maid. Of course, your mileage varies. To others, it's not Band-Maid at all. To me, it very much is. The second comment I made, this was after 2 hours, or actually maybe more. It's a companion piece to Memorable. Memorable, written by Miku to the fans and Bestie to her lovely bandmates. Probably thinking back on the last 10 years together. So that's even more precious to me because you picture that. You know, it's the way that Miku was reading that letter to, you know, to the girls. It's the way Miku was reading that letter to the girls at Yokohama, and it was so sweet. Because there's always a little bit of a distance and a gap between Miku and the rest of the girls. Because she's sort of like the leader. She's at the front. She's always at the front in some way. And so it just, the way that she sees things, I think it's different than anybody else. Continuing on, Bestie also carries a laid-back Cali quality drive and warmth in tone, song, and guitar. Like if you hear the tone of the guitar, right? And mood. Just as Memorable was written soon after the LA show. So LA does something to these girls, and I'm happy about that. You can hear and feel the sunset nostalgia seeping through. Miku's lyrics are unironically so damn sincere. Yeah, they do make you feel, absolutely, absolutely. Its eloquence lies in its pure and unfiltered quality of portraying the truth in her heart. Konami's solo has so much emotion. It's not an exquisitely thought out composition so much as it's her heart being poured out onto her fretboard. She thinks and feels on levels most of us never will. And the reason why I wrote that was when I was listening to that solo, when you hear a guitarist just holding a note or playing like a lick over and over and over again, it's how can I explain it? Don't get me wrong, but it's like it's almost orgasmic. Like you're just hitting it. Okay, I'm gonna stop doing that. I took one hit and I was like, oh shoot. But it's like she's hitting and just that solo, right, when she comes in, right, da 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 da, like she's playing it over and over and over and over again. It's like she's feeling it so much. And then as she's like just going into that, right, she's just doing that scale, but she's like, I don't know, like when I hear it and I heard that solo and when I do, it's like she's just, man, she feels it so strongly. She feels it so strongly, so passionately. Um, and if you've seen the documentary off of the Yokohama Arena Blu-ray, I mean, that girl just like, you poke her and she'll just cry, you know? Just so much emotion. It's just right there at surface level. And that's the beauty, is that as complex and sometimes almost bewildering as her compositions may be, like at heart, she's just such like a delicate, loving, precious person, and you can feel that like so many ways. And then I ended it with, it's a cool and chill song, but it's so precious and sweet and tender, particularly when you recall all that the maids have been through together under the same sky at the same time. That's riffing off of the lyrics. Okay, and I'll finish off with this last thing that I mentioned. I was just kind of picking out little things that stood out to me. So a few more thoughts, observations on Bestie. I've played this song at least 5 to 6 hours through on loop. This song sounds like Mike asked what kind of song they wanted, and everyone looked at Misa and she said, "Smashing Pumpkins, Smart Pop, Smart Pump." The laid-back groove has a 1979 feel, along with the subtle, sustained vibrato bends and counter melodies. And I used to play that way, like when I was playing. Like that was kind of my thing. I loved like holding sustains. I love just like doing little counter melodies throughout. So that's another reason why I connect with it so well, and it just feels so good to my ears. I'm happy that the key and melody hits that mid-range sweet spot for Psyche's register. I prefer this to her vocals being pushed the way it was on Unleash. It squeezes my soul and bones in just the right way. Yeah, I think some people like that Psyche pushes herself vocally, and it's cool. I appreciate it too a lot. But when I listen to it, like I prefer her low register on Alone and this mid-range spot, because it it's the same way like when you're playing a song in a different key. Different keys express different levels of warmth, of darkness, of brightness. You know, for those of you who play music and you've changed keys to different songs, the change of even just like half a tone, it changes everything. So, you know, flats have more warmth, a little bit more full. And I think with Psyche, I prefer the way it sounds when she goes lower rather than higher. As exciting as it is, it's great, but moving on, Misa's bassing is the sonic equivalent of longboarding down the avenue in the 70s with just the right amount of breeze and sunlight without a care in the world. And it was cool because one of our members, Curtis Robles, was like, dude, that hit me in such a personal way, because I was doing that in high school. I was like longboarding from like, what did he say? From like Venice to wherever it was, and I don't know. It's a good feeling. And then the last part, if I lose track of which chorus we're on, I listen for which lead lead in Akane plays, that 6-beat kick to the 6-beat one-handed snare lead into the last chorus is so dreamy. I love that. Do do 1 2 3 4 5 6 1 2 3 4 5 6, and that's gonna kill live. I know it. I know it. Ah, you've never surfed, you Indiana boy. But you can tell it's one-handed just the way that it sounds. Um, and then I wrote that my favorite lyrics, I think, are I don't want to be shy, but I can't look in your eyes. You can count on me anytime you need. It sounds so Japanese to be unable to fully and openly express such overwhelming feelings of love and friendship without being embarrassed by it. Um, so yeah, that's my 100 cents or 2000 cents. I'm I'm happy the collaboration happened. For again, I don't think it's like the most phenomenal song ever written by Band-Maid, but it's a song that connects with me on a very like just gut level. And I think if a song can do that, like that's powerful. The last time that happened with Band-Maid, um, like this much, maybe it was About Us, you know, like About Us really triggered a lot of feeling and emotion for me. Mm, not to say other songs weren't good, but for like example, Unseen World, I listened to the entire album like nonstop. I think that's the only album I listened to. Ah, June from Nekomeshi just messaged on Twitter saying thanks. So we're gonna get into Nekomeshi today because that's also a big thing, and I really, really enjoyed them as people and performance. So I'll wrap this up with Bestie, because I don't want to go on too long and just riff on and on about this mid song from Band-Maid, according to Ryan. Yeah, I'm right there with you, Richard. Unseen World was like a different story for me too. Like I could not stop listening to that album, but it was an album, and the songs didn't capture me necessarily emotionally. You know, it's like there's certain songs that just get to your defenses or like get through. I will be at the May 1st show with Incubus, and they absolutely will play the song. It makes zero sense to me that they would be playing. I don't know if they actually play with Incubus. I mean, they may not. I'm not gonna play Nostradamus. I can see it happening. I can see it not happening. But I cannot see them not playing that song, like that day, because it has a lot of meaning, you know. And if Mikey comes out and plays with them, how cool is that too, right? So I will be there for May 1st. Ah, no, Ryan, dude, what's up? You gotta go to the Kanagawa one. I can't go to Aichi or Osaka for the whole show. Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's definitely something that I see happening. It'll sort of cement the fact that they did collaborate on the song, and they'll mention them. They'll probably call them out on stage. Mike will probably talk about like Point Fest and talk about the milk story or whatever. um, but yeah, I will let you know. I will totally let you know how amazing the performance was and how much I cried or whatever else. Because it just, yeah, it's a good song. Is it their best? No. Is it their bestie? It is. It's their bestie. Can't argue that, can you? Um, okay, let's get into tonight's show with Nekomeshi 222. And there were 5 bands that played tonight, and this was at Kichijoji Crescendo, which I went to last week, Saturday and Sunday. So it's my 3rd time being there. Oh, nice. Nice, Richard. Okay. Oh, Ryan, I'm gonna have to talk to you about June 29th. I don't know if I want to do it here, so I'm gonna have to talk to you later. Mm. And I'm glad you actually stuck around instead of doing a drive by like last time. Bye, hi, bye. um, 5 bands played. Babubble, whom I saw last year in September. I saw them in September last year at Osaka Shovel because they had released a new single. Um, Another band called Barbarian, uh, whom I didn't get to see tonight because I was busy talking with Natsuo, the bassist from Babubble, because she actually remembered me, and I'll go into that a little bit later. Then there was a band called Blood Prophecy. Blood Prophecy. But their music actually, mm, there's a brighter quality. And I don't know, Haromatsu, have you heard the term kusai? Kusai metal? Or is it kusai rock? Because that's how it was described to me, as being like metalcore but extremely melodic. Then there was Gyiyg. I don't know if it's pronounced Gyiyg or just Gyiyg. It's very complicated. Yeah, I thought smelly, but they said melodic. Okay, so Raizo, the lead singer from Nekomeshi, mentioned that, and I had never heard that. And then the last band tonight was Nekomeshi 222. I was excited to see them tonight because, to be honest, when I heard their single released, Vortex of Emotions, which, I think Ryan really liked, he reacted to them and then he asked them, for an interview video. And I was like, okay, that's cool. I mean, it's not bad, but it didn't, like, get me. But I was given the CD, the album by Yushi-san, because he had been with them as they were kind of going around the stores when it released. And I did finally get Vaya's, the drummer, his signature today. But when I listened to the album as a whole, I was like, damn, this is a really great album. I was like, this is so good. Like I think the songs, the riffs, they're just really fantastic songs. Um, and again, I don't know if like thrash is your thing, but if you like heavier stuff, with some melodies in there, I don't know. I think SJ would like it, but honestly, I have no idea because SJ just like I can't catch old school complete album experience. Oh, this is like, yeah, it's like Headbangers Ball. You're listening to like all the thrash metal going on, and I don't know, it was just really, really, he is, man. You just don't know. But it's really good stuff. So I was excited to see them live. Yushi-san asked me, do I want to do an interview with them? I was like, absolutely, which I did, and it was really fun. I'm glad I get to interview these bands because I get to know them better and see who they are as people. And I really appreciate them as people, especially, I mean, no, I mean, all of them are really cool. But Zakuro, who actually, created this band, and this is the second iteration of Nekomeshi 222. Initially, he had other members for various reasons. They all left, and he auditioned and brought in new members. Um, but I just like him a lot. I feel like he's like some guy I grew up with, like at school. This just chill, happy guy. And you see it live, and in no way is this being derogatory, but Nekomeshi feels like a blue collar like band. Like, I don't know, like just neighborhood kids you just chill with, and it's a good feeling. I really, really like them. I really like them. And, I've said this before, but I don't think it's just about the music. I don't think so. And even if you like the music, but when you see a performance, it can turn you off, or it can turn you on even more, based on whether you feel this connection with the band or not. I have not heard of that. No, I haven't. but I really, yeah, they're really cool dudes. Raizo is exactly what I thought she would be. She's petite, she's hilarious. Um, oh, good. Nekomeshi 222. Whistling Arrow is the name of their album. Vladimir, I miss you, man. You're such a loving, warm sunshine of a guy. It's been a while. I hope you're doing well. Um, but yeah, Zakuro, he composed the songs. I think he's fantastic. I think his riffs are just mwah, delicious, so tasty. I use that word, and I don't use it often. Mm. But there are certain riffs that you hear, certain types of riffs, certain types of melody, certain types of feel that just, yeah, man, ooh, so good. So I did the interview, really happy, really cool people. Raizo, I mentioned, is exactly as you would think she is. She's petite, she's happy, she loves to chat, she's just so warm. Um, if you meet her in person, I think you really appreciate her a lot. She laughs a lot, just a lot of sunshine. Interviewed them, went back in, and then watched Babubble perform for the first time in 7 months. And they actually had their drummer step out for a while, and she's still out, so they had a support drummer. Support drummer plays pretty hard and heavy, and so their sound changed a lot. I mean, originally Babubble was much more of a pop rock band, a lot more colorful, hence the name Babubble. But what they were performing today and what it sounded like was there was so much edge and heaviness to it. It almost, I mean, it was going into like metal territory, and I was like, whoa. Um, and for those of you who know, I mean, a drummer makes a massive difference on how heavy a song sounds and feels. So it was really cool. Um, but I had taken photos for them last year, sent it to a couple of them, but Gina, the guitarist, never replied back or thanked me, and I was kind of hurt, a little bit upset. And then I went into the Crescendo office, and then Natsuo, the bassist, she also plays bass now for Venus. Um, Everyone that is anyone watches. No, that is so not true. There are a lot of people who are something that don't watch me. Feel free to. I'm very watchable. To my dog. To my dog. Um, but she was there, and then she kind of gave me a look, and I was like, do you remember? She goes, Peter. I was like, oh. After 7 months, she still remembered my name. And we had never talked. Well, a little bit, because I had asked if I could take photos for them. But she had used one of my photos on her Instagram page, and I was like, "Oh, dude, that's so cool." I'm so surprised you remembered me. And then I was like, "Oh, like Gina, your guitarist." She never actually like took a look at my message to her. I was a little bit sad. So I saw her and I was like, "Oh, Gina-san, I don't think you remember me, but I sent you photos and you never looked at it. Why didn't you look at it? Why didn't you check my photos? I sent it to you." But these girls are busy. They're playing in 2, 3 bands, and they have like work as well. They have like a regular maybe office job or some other like arbaito, some part-time, whatever it is. So people are busy. But it was cool to see them, and it was cool to talk to Natsuo. I was really happy she remembered me. She's really cool. Um, she killed it on bass today. I don't know if you guys know her at all. If you know the man Babubble, old Mr. B, actually interviewed them last year sometime. And again, Venus, and their drummer also left. So there's got to be some sort of curse, or it's just the Japanese uh, industry. That's just how the bands are here. Um, Chatted for a while, and I said, well, hey, I might be going to your show on May 3rd for Crazy Fest, because the She Glapes will be there, Bad Bubble will be there, Nekomeshi will be there, Majesty and Saga will be there, who's also an Osaka band. And then there is also Fathomless Skywalker. It's a name I've seen multiple times. I've never listened to their music, but I guess I will check it out. But the name is Fathomless Skywalker. I'm assuming, unless somehow they know of some other Skywalker outside of the Star Wars movies, that they got that part of the name from Star Wars. I could be wrong, but I think that's the case. So yeah, I think for Golden Week, May 1st, well, it's kind of gonna start next week with Sara Fest because Sala's birthday is coming up. It's actually May 1st, but she'll be performing 428 at Crescendo. So it'll be my fourth time there in a month. It's my new Osaka shovel. If you guys have been hanging around for a while, you guys have heard shovel so many times. And I wasn't even gardening or burying anything or anyone. Yeah, Fathom the Skywalker. That's exactly what the name is. So you guys can check it out now. I'll do that later, some other time. So yeah, I was like, oh, I think I'm going there. If you want, I can take photos. She's like, oh, yeah, that would be great, totally. So I'll have another chance to take photos for them. Probably Nekomeshi again. I'm sure Majestina as well, and I'm sure She Glapes as well. So that's 4 bands out of 5, maybe 6. No, there's 7 bands. There's a couple other bands I don't know, like 29th Dimension or something. So, but it's like 4 out of 7 bands I may be taking photos for. So can you guys remind me to make sure I bring 2 batteries? Make sure that I reformat my SD card so that it's clear of any photos, just so that I don't screw anything up when I have, this kind of opportunity. So, Babubble was great, heavier sound. They rocked it. Again, it was surprising just what kind of sound was coming out. Yes, yes. I actually knew a couple days before the news was announced, because I was at the show where their manager was playing bass, and I was like, oh, why? And then I found out, but Yushi-san was like, so you hear news, but you wait till it's officially dropped, and it's unfortunate. I thought she was really cool. I met her. Did I ever officially meet her? I may have said hi to her last year. I did say hi to her, but we never really chatted. But just this is what happens. This is what happens. Vladimir, you remind me. I don't know how she is. You'll have to just check on Twitter or whatever other SNS there is and ask about that. The second band was Barbarian, but I told you I was busy talking with Natsuo, the bassist for Babubble, so I missed that. I think I was told they were a little more old school rock. The third band was interesting, Blood Prophecy. I'd have to say I don't know if they quite have their look down, like that aspect of their identity. I think performance-wise, in terms of entertainment, they seemed a little bit subdued outside of the lead singer or screamer. But they had some really good songs. And as their set progressed, like the last 2 songs, I was like, damn, these are really good songs. So it was really interesting. So the band is called Blood Prophecy. I was a little bit perplexed, because he threw out this plastic sword, and people do that. Michal from Ancient Myth has this plastic staff. So of course people have props. Everybody has props. Not everybody, but Alice Cooper had props. and any other number of like performers, but that didn't personally work for me. Again, like performance wise, but sound wise, I thought it was really great. The guy didn't actually sing; it was just like death voice, but it was the guy like had it down. He was really really good. I mean, it sounded so good, and again, the last couple songs were so heavy and just, but there's the aspects of melody to it that I really loved. So I'm not sure. I mean, check them out. Check them out because I don't know how they'll sound with anything from like studio recordings, but I can say that I did really enjoy, and again, towards the end especially, like I started getting into it. Um, but it's interesting. I would say I'm not quite like, oh, totally, but uh, check them out, see for yourself. I don't know if you can judge them by their look. I mean, you can, but yeah, for me, I liked I liked, yeah, their songs. There's some pretty good stuff. The fourth band, which Raizo said was more new metal, they had a mix, a blend. It was like a little bit of like emo, screamo, hardcore, metalcore. They incorporated electronic elements. Um, I didn't connect with their performance. There's certain things that they did on stage that I was just like, that doesn't work for me. The guy's voice wasn't bad at all. Like they had some really good stuff. Again, like really good heavy stuff. Some of their melodies are really good. Some of their melodies didn't work for me. Some of their like arrangements were just like, it's just not my thing. But GYIYG, you can check them out too. Because again, I'll say things, but that's me. Mm. Oh, good night, Haro. Yeah, it is late. It's 12, almost 12 a.m. I do actually have training tomorrow for work, so I'll probably have to go in about 10, 20 minutes as well. But thanks for joining, Haro. I'll see you at the Incubus show or somewhere else. Yeah. Thanks for joining. Um, Slightly younger than the rest of the bands that were there, from what I saw. And they had certain bands, certain performers have this obnoxious quality to them. And sometimes it works for me, but a lot of times it doesn't. It didn't quite work for me this time. But check them out, see what you think. I don't even know if they're online, what their presence is, but GYIYG. If you guys are interested in finding some new bands. And then the last band, Nekomeshi, 222. And then I asked, why 222? Because Neko is cat, Meshi is like, so Nekomeshi is cat food. And then 222. And do you guys know that on February 22nd, it's Cat Day? So it's like, nya, nya, nya. So I was like, oh, okay. I get it. And it turns out Zakuro, the guitarist, and again, the founder of the band, loves cats. He has two of them. But yeah, he totally loves cats, and hence the name, hence the 222. He also mentioned something about it, like an angelic number of some kind. So, but I took photos for them, and I'm always torn because as a photographer, I want to take the best photos possible. So I'm really focusing on like angles and lighting and trying to like maneuver my way around in the crowd. But at the same time, I'm also reviewing. I'm trying to listen to the music so I can give like a decent not a decent performance, but like a decent review of what I've just heard. Oh, you cat lovers. I think cats are so adorable, but I'm allergic, so. But yeah, Nekomeshi, like, they're really, really good. Everyone there, and I guess of course people that are there are primarily there for them. So of course, there are people who like love their music. but I mean, they really got the crowd going. If you've listened to their album, I'm curious actually, how many of you have actually listened to the album, whether it's on Spotify, Apple Music, anything else? Like, what's um, I'm curious, what's your take, or what did you hear? Like Ryan, Russ, if you're still around, or if you guys have quietly exited, like what did you think about the music, or for anyone else? Because for me, as with most bands, especially in Japan, their live performance kicked so much more ass. Um, Raizo has so much like charisma. She's so full of like energy and life and personality. Ah, okay. Check out YouTube. Maybe they have one of those like one of those, what do you call it? Where they actually have like YouTube actually puts the whole album out, whether it be their management, the record label that puts it out. Yeah, like um, it was cool because they played Price of Greed for the very first time today live. Um, oh man, yeah, Vladimir, you're only gonna get like the slightest sliver of like what those songs are. Mm. But I love that song, Price of Greed, and I love it even more because I found out that Raizo wrote a lot of the lyrics based off of Full Metal Alchemist. And I was like, what? I love that anime. So I need to go back and look at the lyrics. Because again, like that anime was probably one of the first animes I really fell in love with when I was watching it. Um, but great vocal performance, like really, again, like just sweet, sweet riffs. I can't get over it. Like just how good the riffs are. Like it's just so good. Um, yeah, and then they played here and there. Is that what it's called? Right? Yeah, here and there. Track 9, another great song. They played Light in the Abyss, In a Blackened Room, Vortex of Emotions. Um, the last song, Dicey, is awesome. Oh, just the way that Raizo screams things out, and then like Zakuro on guitar does this like just just this note he just hits and bends so good. Um, but yeah, Zakuro the guitarist is so happy, and again, he just seems like your everyday guy, just like the guy next door, just playing guitar. But he's just so happy on stage. He seems just so excited. Raizo as well is definitely so happy, but like when she feels it, she really feels it, and she's got some power to her voice. June is this really tall guy on the bass. He must be at least, I don't know, at least like 6'3" or something, 6'4". He's like over 180 centimeters, um, close to maybe 190, I think. But when I was interviewing, because in Ryan Mears' interview with them, he said he was this radio kid. He listened just to like all this stuff. So I'm asking him about, like, well, what do you listen to? Like, who do you really like? Homeboy was listing all of these bands, all of these countries, and I was like, oh, okay, you're one of those. Like, this guy has no borders, like, in the best way. Like, he's just open to just hearing anything and everything that he likes. Um, yeah, there's like this lack of judgment to him, and I not in a bad way or like in a non-critical way, but he's just like open to just hear all this different stuff. So yeah, it was really cool. It was really cool. Ah, very cool. Thank you, Brian. Thanks so much. Um, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the CDs. Dicey is awesome, man, and yeah, Price of Greed is so good. But I love Here and There. I love Past, Present, Future. those last 4 songs, Labyrinth is awesome too. But yeah, Dicey is so good. Ugh, God, I wish I could have heard that tonight. And then Via, this is really interesting, and he mentioned it again in Ryan's interview because it was sort of homework. I was watching Ryan. Thank you. I watched their interview to kind of gather my questions. I didn't want to like just repeat, you know, um, rinse, wash, no, wash, rinse, repeat, cycle type of thing. And so Vaya, who had originally only played for pop rock bands, is now playing for this like just like this hardcore, like I think like this thrash metalcore band. And I was like, what the hell? And I was like, Zakuro, why did you bring this guy in? So it's really cool because there are a lot of different influences, and when you have like those different influences, it makes a difference. You know, it does make things more fresh. It adds new colors to things that are familiar, but again, it's like you're adding a little bit of mint, a little spice to this that's usually, more bland or just this particular flavor that you know. So that was really cool. I really appreciated learning that about them. And Raizo and June, the bassist, the singer and bassist, they had done a cover band and done all these covers. So she was naming like all of these bands that they had done together. She was like, oh yeah, like, Slipknot, and she loves System of a Down. And then she's like, oh yeah, Green Day. And I was like, wait. I was like, hold on a second. Green Day doesn't quite fit into the rest of the stuff. She's like, oh yeah, I love Green Day. She's like, do you have the time? I was like, that's cool. Um, yeah, so it's good stuff. I like them a lot. They're really chill people. Um, they're, yeah, there's like zero aspect of like rock star in them at all. Like just really just chill people, really cool. I think really sweet. Um, and they have such a good time on stage, and you can see it, you can feel it, and I love that. Um, but yeah, another really fun, cool night at Kichidoji Crescendo. Taking photos, doing interviews, talking to members of these bands, and I'm lucky. Not bragging, but I'm very lucky to do this and to be in this position. And I do hope that these live streams, these reviews, this kind of talk helps you guys see a little bit more into how things are. Because that's what I wanted to do, is not only to expose you guys to like other new bands, but just kind of like how things are done and just the vibe of it all. And one of the really interesting things that I've discovered, particularly here at Crescendo, because I'm in the office where all of the bands are hanging out pre-stage. And like, oh, dude, Eric. I thank you. I appreciate you always. Dude, was it? Whoa, I know Japanese. Nihongo. I need more Nihongo. All right, Keanu. All right, Keanu Mir. Saiseiga June 8th. Matt, because it's only been a few weeks where I've been working, my brain is still adapting and adjusting, trying to get a sense of things and also do this. I'm so behind on my interviews. The 47 Ronin. I saw that. I don't remember it at all. But I love Keanu Reeves. I love that guy. let's see. So I'm going to Incubus on May 1st. Day of May, May 10th. Hades, Doll Parts, Aya on the 11th. I know Saisega's playing also on the 11th. There are a couple of people who are going to be watching Saisega. I hate the fact that it's on the same day, but it happens and it will continually happen. On May 26th, I will be attending. Yeah, I really gotta rest soon. On May 26th, I'll be going to Yuri Fest because it's Yuri's birthday actually on the 21st. But yeah, I'll be attending that show. And then Band-Maid and The Warning on the 12th. So nothing planned for the 8th, Kurt, so I guess it's possible. But I'm still not totally in a position to pay for pay for my shows. Ah, crap. Yeah. The reason why I've been attending all these shows is because I go in as a guest due to Blacklisted Records, Yushi-san, Hades, and because I have a relationship with them, I do a lot of for them. But for these other bands, as much as I would love to attend all these other shows, I don't think it's in my best interests to spend money on those things, because on the one hand they're essential, but on the other they're extraneous to my essential needs, just paying for other stuff. So so Kurt probably Kurt, when you make that offer, I would love to see you again. Not to, like, just take your money, but I would love to just see you and talk to you again. Let me see. But you said it's June 8th, right? Say don't you know the Korean style, Vladimir? You have to reject an offer 3 times. Are you thirsty? Do you want something to drink? Oh, no, it's okay. Are you sure you don't want anything to drink? Oh, no, it's okay. Really? Let me get you a drink. Oh, okay. But I'm not quite sure how I would get in touch with you prior to the show. Oh, well, actually, I will be doing a couple more live streams. So, oh, is that the Persian style as well? I think it's just like an Asian style. It's just in that area. There's a word in Persian for it. Do you know what the word in Persian for it is, Vladimir? Are you just teasing? Taroff. I would love to go, Kurt. Excuse me. Down the wrong tube. Oh. To be, oh man, down the wrong tube. To be contrarian, I started telling myself, just say yes on the first time. So that's what I would do. I consciously made the effort to say yes at the first time if I wanted something. I don't know how the Korean parents around me felt, but if they asked me if I wanted something, or they offered something, I would say, okay, sure, I'll take it. Yeah, that is true. It's the difference in cultures. Kurt, what venue is Saisega playing on June 8th? Do it. Gosh. Shall I look this up? Saisega. June 8th. Richard, I'm excited to see you again. It's been a while. Oh, Regan. I saw photos of Saiseiga earlier tonight on their Instagram page. Club Phase, you mentioned Club Phase. That was that was the venue that I first went to. No, the second venue after the Cat's Hole. Yeah, with Mike Barber and Richard Hogan. Hey, Richard, that's where we first met, huh? We met at the Cat's Hole, for Bride Year, I believe so. Takada no Baba Club Phase, man, that'll bring back memories. Let's see, who else are they playing with? Oh, but going back, I saw photos earlier tonight, and Regan, she's lovely. It's a one man. It's a one man. Oh, that's right, that's right, that's right. That's where we first met. Okay, that's right. And I remembered you from you being on Twitter, and you had asked me a question about how many shows you thought Band-Maid would play for their US tour. I said, no, probably just like 6 or 7. And it was like 14, right? I'm sorry about that. Oh, it's a one man. Yeah, it's a one man. Look at all you guys. Ah, yeah, I do love me some Saiseiga. The first show I saw them at was in Osaka at Club Mercury. I believe it was May 3rd, along with Doll Parts. Yeah. Along with Doll Parts, Schizoid Man, Let It Out Lately. It was a great show. It was a fantastic show. That's the show where where my infamous I smelled Arisa from Doll Parts, and she smelled fantastic. But Regan looked at me, gave me the middle finger, and I loved it. Yeah, man. Okay, Kurt. You got me. You got me. June 8th. Let's do it. Let's hang out. Let's rock out with Saiseiga. And I do want to take photos for them too, but I should just enjoy the show. Yeah. Yeah, just message me on YouTube. Just drop a comment or something and I'll see it. But yeah, when it's a one man, because it's rare. It's rare for a lot of bands to have a one man. And then that's when you know you're gonna get like all the songs you want, all the ballads, and like some good stuff. I'm wondering if I should go to the Doll Parts Saiseiga show, the 2-man. But yeah, I mean, just to be honest, it's hard for me to like decide on, going to shows unless I know that I can get it for free. I'm such a bum. I'm such a bum. But yeah. Alright guys, I really, really appreciate you guys hanging out with me tonight after the show. Musically, it was a really good week. I can pay you back or order it in E+. Yeah, I guess yeah. Wait, did you buy the ticket yet? I'm curious if you bought the ticket yet. If you didn't and you're gonna get it, then you can just get mine with yours. If you already got yours, then I can just go ahead and order it. Realistically, even though it's one man and even though Saiseiga is probably one of the best bands out there today, they won't have a sold out show. that's kind of rare for a one man. But yeah, let me know, and then if you bought your ticket, then I'll just buy mine separately. But yeah, when I went to their one man last year in Osaka, a lot of rain, so a lot of people couldn't come out, so it was unfortunate, but it was good because you get to talk a little more to the people. Oh, okay. Oh, so you have one for you. Okay, then I'll get mine separately. Oh, that's right. Ubi. um, yeah, but that show was close to Band-Maid's, right? I think that's kind of what it was, which is why there were a lot more foreigners that were there. That was for. Was that for Tokyo Garden? I don't remember. No, 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 no. When was that? Not Yokohama. Anyway, um, yeah. I'll definitely see Ubi, and then Kabukicho. That place is that's a naughty place. And then I'll see. Dude, what is Rolling Behemoth's name? Is that Mark? Like I don't know like the names of these SGBC guys besides you, and then Greg and Cheryl. Just let me know. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there are a couple of other shows that I think are pretty determined, but yeah, see, that's why. That's why, because it was right before Yokohama. Okay, okay, so that's Rolling Behemoth. Yeah, I mean, it's like Richard Hogan says, if it's good if bands kind of plan to have a show around the time that Band-Maid is, because they'll get a pretty good influx of foreigners, which is true, which is true. Um, oh, I am gonna go see Bright Ear in June as well, and I'm going to hear some of their new material off of their new album. And I don't know how many of you are actually Bright Ear fans, but I love them. Again, for me, the connection with them as people, as performers, just their songwriting. I think Bright Ear has some phenomenal songwriting skills. Like their level of production is good stuff. Yes, you do buy merch because you flew all the way over here. You gotta bring back some sort of souvenir. Um, yeah. All right. Well, I do want to hang out and stay, but I do have work. I do have training tomorrow. Um, so I will see you guys again next week. Next is October a good time to go to Japanese music scene wise? I don't see why not. Um, it really depends on how long you hang out, and it's hard to say exactly which weekend we'll have good shows. But I said last time, if you find one band you really like, and there's a whole set of other new bands that you've never heard of in that show, it doesn't hurt to just check out those other bands. Because it's fun. I don't know, it's really fun to see. So, anyway, yeah, later, Russ, I do have to take off as well. That's right, Dolls Box. I was commanded by SJ to attend that one, so that's, I guess, where I'll be next time. 12 days. Well, stay in touch, let me know, and I'll keep you guys updated, whether it's on my Twitter or it's on the community page here at MNN. So thank you guys. Again, whether you like Bestie or not, it's fine. It's a Band-Maid song. Band-Maid will always be Band-Maid. No worries at all. you can watch in the archive. But it's cool to have a song that I just connect with. When you have a song you connect with, it's special. And then tonight, I want to thank Nekomeshi. ありがとうございます。本当に素敵なステージでした。 お疲れ様でした. It was a really good time tonight. Really good people. Really awesome music. And that's what we're here for, right? Awesome music. And to have a good time. So I hope everyone else is doing well. With the change in temperatures and weather, with allergies, it's the next time you see me, I may be sick, but hopefully not. I hope you guys are doing okay. Hope family's alright. Everything's going to... Dude, don't say that right when I'm leaving. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and listen. If that comment keeps me up, I'm gonna hurt you. Arigato, Vladimir. Yeah, thanks for joining, man. It's been a while. It's been a while. I miss you. I hope you and your family are doing well. And oh, I may somewhere try to check out Asterism as well at some point. I forgot where exactly though, so. Yeah. Is it the Metal Fest this coming? No, I can't do that. No, I can't do that. Okay. I'm gonna go, guys. Thank you so much. You guys are always awesome. Your support means the world to me. No, Shibuya Metal Kai Fest 2024. It's this coming weekend, 4/27 on Saturday. But yeah, you guys continue to support all those people, all those bands you love. Yeah, they know me. They definitely know me, but I don't know if we're quite friends yet. But I will work on that. I will use my ways, my mysterious ways. But you guys take care, and I will see you next week after the Salafest show. I don't know if people are gonna hang out afterwards. I don't know if I can because of my dog, but it'd be cool to party with the ladies and I mean the Hades ladies, not the ladies or the ladies. But yeah, it is Golden Week, and I do have the next day off on Monday, so it'll be a good time. I will try to get in touch with you guys on it either that night or the following night. So just stay tuned for that. Okay, thank you. I really need to sleep because it's gonna be hard when I wake up. Love you guys so much, really. Bye guys. 마타네. 우리 다음에 보자. Hasta la vista, baby. Okay, bye guys. Thank you. Oh, Vladimir. Spasiba.